think that I, like the rest of Spokane, want justice for the damage that was done.
Families continue to return to their neighborhoods following the Spokane fires. Now we're learning one woman died from complications she suffered while evacuating the Old Trails fire. Hear from her family tonight.
As we kick off another week, expect temperatures to rise. Wind we could be back up into the 90s.
Verify everything, sign nothing.
And for families rebuilding after the Spokane fires, there's a lot to navigate. Tonight, the advice experts say could help protect you and your insurance claim. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for the Night Report here on KREM 2 News. I'm Sydney Schofield. Tonight, we're learning about the first known death potentially tied to the Spokane area fires. The woman's name is Pat Speedy, and her daughter says she died from complications she suffered while she was evacuating her nursing home. Now she's hoping the man accused of starting the fire will be held accountable. Here's Mark Hanrahan with her story.
As thousands of people fled their homes in northwest Spokane on August 1st, Kim Speedy says she went to her mom's nursing home near the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex and helped wheel her mom's hospital bed into the parking lot as they waited for a ride to safety.
I mean, the sky was just dark from the smoke. The trees behind the facility were on fire. The neighborhood behind the facility was on fire. And I mean, just imagine not being in control of your body and laying in a bed just watching the world burn down around you. I mean, that's terrifying.
Kim says her mom moved into Spokane Health and Rehabilitation 4 years ago after suffering a stroke. Earlier this year, she moved into hospice care at the facility after being diagnosed with a rare condition that left her colon paralyzed. But her daughter says she was stable and not in pain. That all changed when she was evacuated.
And it was in that process, you know, that she had to go down this bumpy road with potholes and out of the parking lot, and that caused extreme pain for her. She just looked at me and said, "Honey, something is not right. Something is wrong." And we knew then that she had likely ruptured her bowel in that move.
Kim says her mom died 8 days later on August 9th. She was with her in her final moments.
And they took an x-ray and said that she had a perforated bowel. And she just languished in agony in the hospital for 5 days before she went unconscious and then passed away.
The death is the only fatality reported to authorities connected to the fires. A spokesperson with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office confirms they, along with the prosecutor's office, are now investigating to see if they can add charges to Aaron Farinacci, the man charged with starting the Old Trails fire.
Do you think Aaron Farinacci is to blame for your mom's death?
I do. I think that if it weren't for the arson and the fire being at my mom's building, she would still be laying in her bed laughing with her friends. I definitely think that he's responsible for what ultimately led to my mom dying.
That was Mark Hanrahan reporting. Tonight, a Spokane family is asking for help after their dog Luna suffered severe burns while escaping the Spokane complex fires. We want to warn you, some of these photos are hard to see. While the family evacuated the Old Trails fire, Luna appeared to be trying to protect other dogs on the property, including a litter of puppies. 2 of the dogs did not survive. Luna's owner, Destiny Mertz, says that Luna's paw pads were burned completely off. After escaping, Luna collapsed and needed emergency treatment. Now, Luna needs weekly wound treatments, medication, and additional follow-up care.
Between the pain, the adrenaline of pushing through those severe burns to keep running, because she did not stop. She's just always been this very strong soul. Like, when I look at her, I see somebody that's very gentle and loving, and she has so much life in her.
She says community support has helped with the growing vet bills and given her hope after losing her late grandfather's belongings in the fire. She says Luna remains her motivation to keep moving forward. The suspect in the Ben Apple Road fires was charged with 5 additional counts of first-degree arson and 1 count of insurance fraud. Georgia Williams was arrested on July 15th for possibly setting several fires on the 14,700 block of South Ben Apple Road in southwest Spokane County. Police say Williams admitted to starting the fire upon her arrest. This is an ongoing investigation. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. And investigators with the Colville Tribal Police say they arrested a man for allegedly starting the car tar fire on the Colville Reservation. Jared Crinklaw now faces one federal arson charge. Several witnesses told police they saw a man throwing objects out of a car with bushes catching on fire right after. The Washington Department of Natural Resources identified 9 spots for fire origin along Omak Lake and determined the most probable cause of the fire was arson. Police found a lighter and 2 brown bags torn apart and missing pieces in the suspect's car. The car tar fire burned more than 11,000 acres near Omak Lake this year in June. Let's talk weather now with meteorologist Cody Proctor. Cody, I think so many of us here in this area are a little on edge about fire danger. What can we expect for the next few days? Is it going to be elevated?
Well, one thing we can expect, Sydney, is that as we go into this week, expect things to be warm for us and dry. And yes, there are some red flag warnings, but it's down more into the lower Palouse and into the Snake River area. And that will kick off tomorrow at noon and it will stay in effect until about 10 o'clock tomorrow night. For the rest of the region, though, we are looking to stay warm and there is a chance for some breezy winds. Right now, as we head into this evening, we're still warm tonight. We're in the mid 70s right now when we're getting awfully late into the evening already. Winds coming out of the west at 8 miles per hour. Relative humidity only 27%. Now, around our region, you can see most of our temperatures are in those 70s. A few places are into the 60s. That includes Sandpoint, Pullman, and Moscow at this time. Moses Lake still hanging on to those low 80s for us tonight with some calm winds. The last few hours have been relatively quiet for the most part, but we did pick up a little bit of activity around northeast Washington. This is between Omak and Colville is over here, but it looks like there's been a little bit of lightning being seen earlier this evening. Watching that pretty closely. Just again, it is so dry outside. Now, at least here in Spokane, things should be quiet for the most part. Tomorrow morning, we should start things off in the low 60s with light conditions before we start to warm up into the upper 70s. By the time we get into late morning, we could start to see those winds start to pick up in our early afternoon hours. The other thing we're still watching is our smoke. There is a possibility we'll still see some patchy smoky areas tomorrow before more of that sunshine moves in. Expect highs tomorrow being in the upper 80s. However, if the smoke moves off sooner, we could actually see temperatures maybe even warmer than that. Today we reached up into the low 90s. Potentially the next time we could be back up into the low 90s. Looks to be Thursday, but we'll have to see how tomorrow shapes up. I'll talk about more about those concerns that I'm tracking in your full forecast.
Cody, thank you. As recovery efforts for the Spokane fires continue, the Office of Insurance Commissioner held their first monthly claim workshop. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones brings us more tonight.
Well, if your home was either destroyed or damaged by these fires, the goal of these workshops is to help walk you through what those next steps will be like. And if you weren't able to attend today, here's what you missed.
Verify everything, sign nothing.
Words of advice for those on the long road to recovery. Resources like this workshop say they hope to answer questions and point those who need help into the right direction.
Everybody's claim is uniquely different, and so we want to be able to hear their story and help them as individuals as well.
For about an hour, David Fort and his colleague Jeff broke down everything to know about the insurance claims process. That includes the 4 major parts of an insurance contract. That's declarations, insuring clause or agreement, conditions, and exclusions.
Right now, it's be like drinking out of a fire hose. There's so much to understand, but the first thing is understand your additional living expenses.
That starting point will ultimately be what pays for your temporary housing and expenses as you plan your rebuild. David also recommends reaching out to your insurance company to get a complete understanding of how much is available for you.
When you go back to your home, take as many photos as you can. You can't take enough pictures. Document everything, send it to your insurer.
Later this week, the recording of this workshop will be available on insurance.wa.gov. And starting in September, the sessions will be held on the second Monday of each month at Spokane Falls Community College.
And we're going to be here as long as it takes. Right now, we're scheduled for over a year, but we'll be here as however long it takes to help people recover.
From Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Personal protective equipment kits will also be available for the victims of the Spokane complex fires. The Spokane Fire Department will have pickup locations at Station 16. That's at 5225 North Assembly Street on Tuesday, August 18th from 3 to 6 p.m. On Thursday, August 20th, Station 17, which is on 5121 West Lowell Road. Well, they'll have kits for pickup between 3 to 6 p.m. as well. These kits will include masks, gloves, and a protective suit. The city of Spokane has a full list of what to do and what to wear while returning to property impacted by the fires. Stay with us. More headlines to come tonight on your Night Report. After losing homes and being forced to evacuate, one Spokane kitchen is serving up something money can't buy: comfort and community, one meal at a time. We'll show you ahead. And later, a Coeur d'Alene neighborhood is on edge after a weekend fire destroyed one home and left another unlivable. Investigators say the circumstances are suspicious. How you can help, coming up.